Hi everyone, welcome back to Sri Sampath Vinayaka Learn Easy channel. Today in this video we are going to discuss about the integration chapter, that is of the calculus. Okay, so integrals means the inverse process of differentiation is known as integrals. We know that. Okay, that is let us suppose d by dx of one function f of x is equal to small f of x, then integration of this small f of x gives us the function f of x. Okay, so that is why integration is the inverse process of differentiation, we are going to say. Okay, here this constant c is known as integral constant, and also we are going to name the integration as antiderivation of the given function or given algebraic expression. Okay, Nama? So integration is completely the reverse process, that is inverse process of the differentiation. If we are going to know the differentiation formulas, then integration formulas are very easy. Why? Because it is the inverse of the differentiation. Integration actually of two types. First is indefinite integrals and second one is definite integrals. Okay, firstly we are going to discuss about indefinite integrals. Okay, for that listen. Indefinite integral means firstly we have to consider a function f of x. Okay, let a given function f of x, and the antiderivative of that small f of x is any function capital F of x assume. Okay, such that f dash of x is equal to f of x. Why? Because antiderivative of this function is f of x we assumed. So antiderivative in the sense its derivation is f of x. So see, f dash of x, this f dash of x is equal to f of x is clearly assumed. Firstly we have to consider a function f of x. After considering this function f of x, we are going to write its antiderivative. Antiderivative is f of x, capital F of x. So f dash of x is equal to f of x. Why? Because see, this f dash of x is antiderivative, no? That is why. If f of x is any antiderivative of function f of x, then the most general antiderivative of the f of x is called indefinite integral and denoted by sigma. This is known as antiderivative, no? So firstly see, we are going to write f of x dx. What is f of x actually? F dash of x. Okay, antiderivative we have to write sigma. Integration we know the antiderivative. Okay, so it is derivation. Integral of differentiation gives us the function. Okay, that is why here we are going to write f of x. Okay, now why? Because this differentiation and integration are going to be cancelled. Okay, so integral of f of x dx is equal to f of x plus c. Why? Because c its antiderivation is f of x we assumed in the beginning only. So antiderivative of this integral means antiderivation, antiderivation of the function is the f of x. Why? Because the antiderivation of the function is assumed as f of x. I think it's very clear to you. Okay, once again I am going to revise it. Indefinite integral means firstly we have to consider a function. So that is why we have to write the function as f of x, small f of x. Now we are going to assume its antiderivative as capital F of x. So that indicates f dash of x is equal to f of x. Why? Because this f of x is antiderivative. Okay, now if f of x is an antiderivative of small f of x, then the most general antiderivative of f of x is called indefinite integral. Okay, and it is denoted by integral f of x dx is equal to capital F of x plus c. It is the explanation how we are going to obtain this. Okay, so in the place of f of x I am going to write f dash of x. We know the integration and derivation are inverse to each other, so these two are going to be cancelled. Then we are going to obtain f of x plus c. Okay, na? Integral f of x dx is equal to f of x plus c. Here this symbol is called integral symbol, and this f of x is called integrand. Okay, and now here this c, f of x is called integrand, and here this x is called integration variable. Okay, with respect to which variable we are doing integration, no? We have to identify that is x here. X is called integration variable. For example, in differentiation, we are going to differentiate the given function with respect to x or with respect to y. We learn, no, like that. Here x is called the integration variable, and here the constant c is called integration constant or constant of integration. We are going to name. Okay, and we have to remember one thing, ma. Okay, now often we are going to name this entire procedure, that is indefinite integration procedure or definite integration procedure, as a integral only, ma. We often just we are going to name it as integral instead of indefinite integral or definite integral. Okay, that means this entire process we discussed now, this is known as indefinite integration. Okay, na, and that is generally we are going to name as integral only. Okay, now the process of finding the indefinite integral is called integration or integrating that function f of x, ma. Okay, now we have to remember one more thing. We need to be more specific about the integration variable, ma. Here I already told you what is the integration variable. Here we have to find it out first. Here, so that variable is known as sigma x. Okay, and this x is also called as integration variable. We will say that we are integrating this function f of x with respect to x. Okay, now we are going to discuss the properties of integration, the properties of indefinite integral. Okay, now see, ma, if the antiderivative of derivative of f of x gives us f of x, that means integral f dash of x. Here integration and derivation are going to be cancelled, then f of x is going to be the result. Okay, so integral f dash of x dx is equal to f of x plus c, ma. Okay, now there that c is an integration constant. Why we are writing integration constant means, see, ma, in the process of finding derivation, for example d by dx of 7x plus 2. Okay, now its value we know that 7 we are going to write. That means here the 7 is constant, so 7 is taken out and derivated with respect to x to that x. Okay, its value is 1. And the constant's derivation is 0, we know that. That is why there we have to leave that constant. So we know that integration is the inverse process of differentiation. No, we have to again rewrite that constant which we left there. That is why we are writing c, ma, plus c. Okay. Second one, integral f of x dx is equal to integral g of x dx plus c. Then we are going to say that f and g are indefinite integrals with respect to the same derivative x. Okay. Now integral, third one, ma, integral f of x plus or minus g of x whole dx. Then we have to split it into 2, ma. That is integral f of x dx plus or minus integral g of x dx. Okay, and the fourth one, if the integral values are like some value k into f of x dx, then the k constant, that is the real number, is taken out of the integral, so it is expressed as a coefficient value. So k into integral f of x dx, where that k is a real number, ma. Okay, some standard integral sets we are going to learn now, ma. Okay, see, set 1, integral dx value is, see, ma, integral dx in the sense 1 dx is equal to x plus c. Okay, integral x power of n dx is equal to x power of n plus 1 by n plus 1 plus c. Integral 0 dx, that means constant. Okay, integral 1 by x square dx is equal to minus 1 by x plus c. Integral 1 by root x dx is equal to 2 root x plus c. Integral 1 by x dx is equal to log x to the base e plus c. Integral modulus x by x dx or integral x by modulus x dx is equal to modulus x plus c, ma. Here these set of integral values are very easy to remember if you know the formulas of differentiation, ma. See, ma, we know that d by dx of x is equal to 1. So see, d by dx of x is equal to 1. So d by dx of x power of n plus 1 by n plus 1 is equal to x power of n. If you want to verify it, once verify ma. Here this 1 by n plus 1 is constant now, so take out that 1 by n plus 1 and derivate with respect to x to that x power of n plus 1 ma. It gives us 1 by n plus 1 into, okay, x in the derivative of x power of n, we know that x power of n as n into x power of n minus 1. So n plus 1 minus 1. So here plus 1 minus 1 are going to be cancelled and x power of c ma, n is left. So that is equal to x power of n. That is why integration of x power of n is expressed as x power of n plus 1 by n plus 1. Here also we know that differentiation of the constant is 0. So integration of 0 is constant. We know that d by dx of 1 by x is c ma. d by dx of 1 by x what? Minus 1 by x square. So integration of 1 by x square is minus 1 by x ma. So now see, d by dx of root x, we know that 1 by 2 root x, c ma. d by dx of root x is equal to 1 by 2 root x. So just bring this 2 to this side, then integral of 1 by root x is equal to 2 root x. Okay, we know that d by dx of log x is 1 by x. Okay, so integration of 1 by x is log x. Okay, similarly modulus x. Okay, modulus x differentiation is modulus x by x. So integration of modulus x by x is modulus x ma. Okay, so if you know the differentiation formulas thoroughly, then the integration formulas are very easy to remember. Why? Because it is the inverse process, the second set of the formulas. Integral e power of x dx is equal to e power of x plus c, because see ma, d by dx of e power of x, we know d by dx of e power of x is equal to e power of x. So integral of e power of x also e power of x only. So here see ma, d by dx of a power of x is equal to a power of x into log a, we know that. Okay, so if you want to calculate the integral of a power of x, then this constant log a comes and divides this. So a power of x by log a. Okay na? So you have to remember the differentiation formulas thoroughly, then integration formulas are very easy. Coming to the third set, see ma, integral of sin x dx is equal to minus cos x, because see ma, d by dx of cos x 1, see ma, d by dx of cos x means what? Minus sin x. So integral of sin x is equal to minus cos x. See ma, d by dx of sin x, d by dx of sin x means cos x. So integral cos x means sin x ma. So see ma, here d by dx of tan x we have to know. d by dx of tan x means secant square x. Okay, so integral secant square x means tan x ma. So see, d by dx of cot x minus cosecant square x. So integral cosecant square x is minus cot x. So d by dx of secant x, we know that d by dx of secant x means secant x tan x. So integral of secant x tan x is secant x ma. Integral cosecant x cot x is equal to minus cosecant x, because d by dx of cosecant x is equal to minus cosecant x cot x. So these are the different standard integrals regarding the trigonometric functions ma. So just you have to remember the differentiation formulas, then we are going to definitely recall the integration formulas. Why? Because see, d by dx of cos x means sin x. So integral sin x means minus cos x. Okay, d by dx of sin x means cos x. So integral of cos x is sin x. See ma, d by dx of tan x is secant square x. So integral of secant square x is tan x. d by dx of cot x is equal to minus cosecant square x. So integral cosecant square x is equal to minus cot x. d by dx of secant x is equal to secant x to tan x. So integral secant x tan x is equal to secant x plus c. Next, d by dx of cosecant x is minus cosecant x cot x ma. So integral cosecant x cot x is equal to minus cosecant x plus c. See ma, set 4. Integral 1 by root over 1 minus x square dx is equal to sin inverse x plus c or minus cos inverse x plus c, because we know that d by dx of sin inverse x is equal to 1 by root over 1 minus x square, or d by dx of cos inverse x is equal to minus 1 by root over 1 minus x square. So integral 1 by root over 1 minus x square dx is expressed as sin inverse x plus c or at times minus cos inverse x plus c. Similarly, d by dx of tan inverse x we know that 1 by 1 plus x square. d by dx of cot inverse x we know that minus 1 by 1 plus x square. So integral 1 by 1 plus x square dx is equal to tan inverse x plus c or at times minus cot inverse x plus c. Okay. Now we know that d by dx of secant inverse x is 1 by x into root over x square minus 1. Similarly, d by dx of cosecant inverse x is minus 1 by x into root over x square minus 1. So that integral 1 by x into root over x square minus 1 dx is secant inverse x plus c or minus cosecant inverse x plus c ma. Set 5 ma. Integral sin hx dx is equal to cos hx plus c, because we know that d by dx of cos hx is sin hx. Similarly, all these are ma. Cos hx, integral cos hx dx is equal to sin hx plus c. Integral secant h square x dx is equal to tan hx plus c. Integral cosecant h square x dx is equal to minus cot hx plus c. Integral secant hx into tan hx dx is equal to minus secant hx plus c. Integral cosecant hx into cot hx dx is equal to minus cosecant hx plus c. Integral cot hx dx is equal to log of sin hx plus c. Integral secant hx dx is equal to 2 into tan inverse e power of x plus c. Integral tan hx dx is equal to log of cos hx plus c. Integral cosecant hx dx is equal to log of tan h x by 2 plus c ma. Okay. Set 6 ma. Integral 1 by root over 1 plus x square dx is equal to sin h inverse x plus c, or this can be expressed as log of x plus root over 1 plus x square plus c ma. Okay. Similarly, integral 1 by root over x square minus 1 dx is equal to cos h inverse x plus c or log of x plus root over x square minus 1 plus c. Integral 1 by 1 minus x square dx is equal to tan h inverse x plus c or cot h inverse x plus c ma. See, the next set, it's a very important one ma. Integral tan x dx is equal to log of secant x plus c or minus log of cos x plus c ma. Integral cot x dx is equal to log of sin x plus c or minus log of cosecant x plus c ma. Integral secant x dx is equal to log of secant x plus tan x plus c or log of tan of x plus 2 plus 5 by 4 of c. Okay. Cosecant x dx is equal to log of cosecant x minus cot x plus c or log of tan of x by 2 plus c. Set 8 ma. Integral au plus b by cu plus d dx. If it is the given function in this form, then you have to divide it into two partial fractions, that is a by c minus ad minus bc by c into cu plus d whole dx ma. Okay. Now e power of log x base e is equal to x we know. Coming to the ninth set of the formulas, these are very important, these are very easy also. Integral sin ax plus b dx. We know that integral sin x is minus cos x. Similarly, integral sin of ax plus b means minus cos of ax plus b. In the place of x we are having ax plus b. So we have to derivate this ax plus b and we have to divide it to the function. So derivation of ax plus b is a. So that is a is divided here. Similarly, integral cos x we know that sin x. Okay, in the place of x we are having ax plus b. So we have to derivate that ax plus b and we have to write the result in the denominator. Okay, similarly here also integral of f of ax plus b. F of ax plus b means capital F of ax plus b. By derivation of ax plus b is a. So we have to divide it. Next, if the given integral is in the form of integral f of x whole power of n into its derivative f of x dx, then that can be expressed as f of x power of n plus 1 by n plus 1 plus c. Derivative of the function by root over that function, then it can be expressed as 2 into root over that function. Okay, now derivative of a function by the function dx is equal to log of the function plus c, and integral x into e power of x dx is equal to e power of x into x minus 1 plus c. 10th set, integral 1 by a square plus x square dx is equal to 1 by a into tan inverse x by a plus c. Integral 1 by x square minus a square dx is equal to 1 by 2a into log of x minus a by x plus a plus c. Integral 1 by a square minus x square dx is equal to 1 by 2a into log of a plus x by a minus x plus c. Integral 1 by root over a square plus x square dx is equal to sin h inverse x by a plus c or log of x plus root over a square plus x square whole by a plus c. Similarly, integral 1 by x square minus a square dx is equal to cos h inverse x by a plus c or log of x minus root over x square minus a square by a plus c. Integral 1 by root over a square minus x square dx is equal to sin inverse x by a plus c. Integral 1 by 1 plus or minus sin ax dx is equal to 1 by a into tan ax minus or plus secant ax plus c. 11th set, integral root over a square minus x square dx is equal to x by 2 into root over a square minus x square plus a square by 2 into sin inverse x by a plus c. It's a very important formula. Similarly, integral root over x square minus a square dx is equal to x by 2 into root over x square minus a square by 2 into cos h inverse x by a, or that can be expressed as x by 2 into root over x square minus a square by 2 into log of x plus root over x square minus a square whole by a plus c. Why? Because cos h inverse x by a is log of x plus root over x square minus a square by a. Similarly, integral root over x square plus a square dx is equal to x by 2 into root over x square plus a square by 2 into sin h inverse x by a plus c. Or in the place of sin h inverse x by a, we know that sin h inverse x by a is log of x plus root over x square plus a square whole by a. So I am going to replace it here. So x by 2 into root over x square plus a square by 2 into log of x plus root over x square plus a square whole by a plus c. Now we are going to discuss the methods of integration. Okay, now in that methods of integration, the first type is integration by substitution. We have to substitute the variable x to some other variable. Okay, so the substitution method is the given integral f of x dx can be transformed into another form by changing the independent variable x to some variable t by substituting x is equal to g of t. So now we are going to discuss some different integrals and what to substitute. Okay, see, if the integral is in the form of integral f of ax plus b dx, then this ax plus b is substituted with the variable t. And if the function is, that means integral is in the form of f of g of x into g dash of x dx, then we are going to substitute that g of x as t. If the function or integral is in the form of f dash of x by f of x dx, then we have to substitute this f of x as t. And if the given integral is in the form of f of x whole power of n into f dash of x dx, then we are going to substitute the same f of x is equal to t. If the given integral is in the form of px plus q into root over cx plus d dx, or px plus q by root over cx plus d, then we are going to rearrange this px plus q as a into cx plus d plus b. Okay, after that, by comparing both sides the coefficients or the powers of the variable, we are going to calculate that a and b. So see, px plus q is equal to a into cx plus d plus b. No, by comparing the x coefficients on both sides, we are going to calculate that unknown values capital A and capital B. Okay, by that we are going to find out the value of this integral. If the integral is in the form of 1 by px plus q into root over cx plus d, or 1 by px square plus qx plus r into root cx plus d, then we have to assume that cx plus d as t square. See, linear equation into root over linear equation. 1 by quadratic equation into root over linear equation. If the given integral is in this form, then we have to express that cx plus d as t square. That is, we have to substitute that cx plus d as t square. Now, in the next type, integral 1 by px plus q into root over cx square plus dx plus e. That means 1 by linear equation into root over quadratic equation. If it is in this form, then px plus q is equal to expressed as 1 by t. Now, 1 by px square plus q into root over cx square plus d, if the given integral is in this form, then we have to first express x is equal to 1 by t. After substituting that, okay, we have to again resubstitute c plus dt square is equal to u square. Now, in the next model, integral px plus q by ax square plus bx plus c dx, or integral px plus q by root over ax square plus bx plus c, or integral px plus q into root over ax square plus bx plus c. That is linear equation by quadratic equation, linear equation by root over quadratic equation, linear equation into root over quadratic equation. If the given integral is in either of the three forms, then we have to express that px plus q as a into derivative of that quadratic equation plus b, and then we have to compare the coefficients of or the powers of x on both sides to obtain the value a and b. So by that we are going to simplify this type of integrals. Okay, no need to worry about these different models. By practicing this type of models, you are going to understand each and every problem very easily. Firstly, you have to remember all the different sets of the formulas to solve the integration problems very easily. See, some special substitutions we have to remember. If the expression and its substitution, if the given integral is in the form of root over a square minus x square, then I am going to substitute in the place of x as a sin theta or a cos theta. If the given integral is in the form of root over a square plus x square or a square plus x square, then I am going to substitute x as a tan theta or a cot theta. Because by substituting those values, these are converted into known identities. If the given integral is in the form of root over x square minus a square, then x is equal to a secant theta or x is equal to a cosecant theta is going to be substituted. If the given integral is in the form of a root over a minus x by a plus x or root over a plus x by a minus x, then we are going to substitute x as a cos 2 theta. Ma. If the given integral is in the form of root over x by a minus x or root over a minus x by x, then we are going to substitute x as a sin square theta or a cos square theta. If the given integral is in the form of root over a minus x by x minus b or root over x minus b by a minus x or root over a minus x into x minus b, then this x can be substituted as a cos square theta plus b sin square theta. Ma. Okay, by substituting the variable, integrating variable with the given substitutions, the integral is going to be simplified or calculated very easily. Ma. You have to remember these. These are very, very, very important. Ma. Okay, na? Integration using trigonometric identities. Okay, when we are going to see the integral, okay, na? In that integral, if that integrand consists of trigonometric functions, we use the known identities to convert it into a form which can be easily integrated. For that, we are going to use some identities. Okay, if 2 sin square x by 2 is there, then we have to write it as 1 minus cos x. If 2 cos square x by 2 is there, then we have to write it as 1 plus cos x, and vice versa. Similarly, 2 sin x cos y is going to be expressed as sin x plus y plus sin x minus y. And 2 cos x into sin y can be expressed as sin x plus y minus sin x minus y. 2 cos x into cos y is going to be expressed as cos x plus y plus cos x minus y. And 2 sin x into sin y can be expressed as cos x minus y minus cos x plus y, and vice versa also. Ma. Then we are going to convert that given integrand into some trigonometric identities which are going to be easily integrated. Ma. Okay, these are very important identities we have to remember. So note down all these sets of identities and remember the formulas. Ma. Okay, need not to worry by seeing these many sets of trigonometric formulas. Okay, these are very, very easy. While doing the problems, you are going to remember them very easily. Okay, don't worry, man. Just you have to remember the formulas and try to recall the formulas also. Then it's very easy.